Welcome to Old Folks Racing PlayStation. Welcome to quite a late coverage of round 5. We are with the Ginetta G40 Junior, a very, very popular car indeed. And today in this round 5, we are at the amazing circuit of Brands Hatch Indy. The circuit that has only a few corners and therefore it's going to be quite a lot of laps here in this race. It should provide some good racing there and have a pole position from Dale Taylor. Second row, it's Kev Allen and George Jesus, followed by Simon Owen, Scott Lively, Peter Adrian, John Scott, Rob Oldham, Rob Button, Gonçalo Mota and Jumbo in 12th place. It should be a good race. It's 21 laps and they are about to go, and everyone has had a decent start. There's a yellow car there in the middle, which I think is Kev Allen, has had a pretty decent start, but then head is going to turn into turn 1 into Paddock Hill Bend. Oh, and there's a crash already. That's Scott Lively and Peter Adrian. No, it's Simon Allen and Scott Lively colliding within a few meters of the start, and we will not have a replay of that. It seems they just were in the same piece of track at the same time in the confusion of the start. Darren Head has gone into the lead of this race. Kev Allen, it wasn't him that had a good start, it was Jorge Jesus that is, well, no, it was not Jorge Jesus, it was Kev Allen up to third. Let's look at this. This is from Simon Allen, and he is side by side with Scott. Scott just kept turning left there, which was a little bit sloppy to say the least. Unusual for Scott David. Let's look at the yes, this is Kev Allen's start. That was good. No, it was Jorge Jesus that had a good start, but couldn't quite convert it into track position. They go side by side, almost 3 wide. There's a collision there between Kev Allen and Jorge Jesus. And George is up into third place, and yes, Kev Allen lost a bit of ground and lost a position to Peter Adrian. Nice start by Peter there. Kev Allen now in 50th is the replay from Gonçalo Mota in 11th. Let's see what happened ahead of him as we see Scott Lively and Simon Allen are about to collide. There they go off the track, and Gonçalo is, well, gains 2 positions immediately into 9th place. There's a bit of contact there between Jumbo and Rob Oldham, and look at this, a bit of almost 3 wide there into Drude's corner. That was nice, nice behavior from everyone really, because they all gave each other room. But where is Gonçalo? He's up to 7th, which was quite a decent start. Back to the race now, as Jorge Jesus is up into 2nd place. A mistake by Dale Taylor drops to 4th, and we are almost at the end of the first lap already. Dale Taylor made a mistake and dropped from 2nd to 4th. Peter Adrian is up into 3rd place and is having thoughts about 2nd there as we complete the first lap. And Darren Head on the lead, and 1.6 seconds already to the rest of the pack that looks, well, pretty packed there. There's a side-by-side racing there at the back between the blue car. I believe that's Gonçalo Mota, is it? No. That was, I do apologize for this, was Rob Button, I believe, maybe in 7th place. Yes, it was Rob Button, and he is, and losing now a position. Oh, look at that, that's, and everyone, just 3 drivers crashed there. That's Rob Button, that is Rob Oldham, yes, and this is the replay from Rob Oldham. This 3 wide into Drude's was, well, Rob gets out of it, and then, and Rob Button tried to get back, and they all, and there's a white car there which we haven't identified yet, and I believe that is Simon Allen again involved in, is it Simon Allen? I apologize, I can't figure that one out. There was a white car involved there which we couldn't really identify. Maybe it was Gonçalo Mota. Gonçalo Mota is in 12th place, and he definitely was around 7th, so it was Gonçalo Mota after such a good first lap. Then a 3-way incident with Rob Button and Rob Oldham. It was a bit of a Rob sandwich there, and Gonçalo into Drude's, but 3 wide there it was unlikely to work, and Rob Oldham tried to get out of it, but then Well, this is Peter Adrian has had a problem. No, it's not the problem. He just lost the position to Kev Allen. Also lost the position to Dale Taylor. Oh, look at this. He's coming back at Kev now. Kev just run wide into Drudes, now into Graham Hill Bender. They will go side by side there. Side by side. Absolutely brilliant racing there. And Peter Adrian, slight contact between the drivers, but they continue to be side by side. And this time round, Peter Adrian is going to retain 4th place. And one more lap will be in the books very, very shortly. This is, Simon Allen. He's in 9th place. He is behind Rob Oldham. Rob Oldham seems to be the driver in that three-way tangle that has lost the least amount of time, because Rob Button is in 12th place, Scott Davely in 11th, side by side there again between Peter Adrian and Kev Allen. They continue to battle. Another lap 4 is in the books, and look at this. Kev Allen is again going to try the same thing exactly, but Peter Adrian is having none of it and shuts the door. At Drude's corner, Kev Allen spins, does not spin, but lost a bit of control. Knocked down a board there, a sponsor board, and survives to fight another day. But these two are also fighting. Dale Taylor is coming back at Jorge Jesus and coming back vigorously. Look at this, Jorge running wide there at the last section of the track. And now runs wide in the last corner, and here comes Dale Taylor. Dale has got the pace. He's made a mistake in lap 1 and dropped to 4th. He's recovered to 3rd, and that's going to be 2nd very, very soon indeed, because he's on the inside line at Paddock Hill Bend, and I think that's the job done for Dale Taylor. Or is it? Because George is going to try to defend on the outside, and he does it. No, and Jorge Jesus overdid it, overcooked it, and is in the gravel. He did defend the position, but unfortunately also went to the gravel trap at the same time. Drops to 4th. Peter Adrian is up into 3rd place again. Rob Oldham is up into 6th because that's Jumbo in 7th place, and Jumbo again making a good race after 12th place in qualifying. Again showing very, very developed racecraft. He's up 5 positions, and we are only 5 laps in, and he's actually not that far from 6th place. That is currently Rob Oldham. Simon Allen is in 8th because someone has lost time, and that someone was John Scott, I believe, because he's now being shown as last. He was overtaken by Rob Button, by Gonçalo Mota and Scott Davely, all the drivers that have lost time in various tangles. And we are a quarter in this race already. John Scott, here he is in last place, but the race is not over by any means, so he will have the time to recover a few positions, as Jumbo is now continuing his recovery. Look at this, he's actually not that far from 5th place. You can see Kev Allen visually there in the horizon, and Rob Oldham for sure is right in front of him. He can even see 4th place, and that is Jorge Jesus, of course, that has lost that position to Dale Taylor. Also lost 3rd place to Peter Adrian, and in the meantime leader Darren Head is 4.4 seconds ahead of everyone, and this could be yet another victory for the championship leader, who is really having no major opposition in this spring 2022 season. This is a past 4 position, and that is Rob Oldham on Kev Allen, and Kev Allen is in the gravel trap trying to defend again, ends up losing 2 positions. So Rob Oldham up into 5th spot, and jump. And Rob Oldham spins. Rob Oldham spins. Disaster. He spins again in the same place as he had the tango, and look at that. Jumbo is, well, he's not up to 5th. I thought he would be up to 5th, but he also lost the position to Simon. Now look at this, Rob Oldham is in the grass. Now, major beneficiary of these latest developments is Simon Allen. He was in 8th place, or was it 7th? Well, he was in 8th place. John Scott dropped back. Now Rob Oldham dropped back as well, and Kev Allen was in the gravel trying to defend from Rob, and in the meantime Simon Allen also overtook Jumbo, so all of a sudden he's in 5th place. That's great recovery in a matter of a couple of laps. Scott Davely following Kev Allen, and Kev is really dropping back moving backwards in this race from a good qualifying position. He is just involved in these little battles and is just losing time. Now he's under pressure from a driver that went off the track in lap 1. Scott Davely in 8. Remember that Simon Allen also went out in the same incident. He is now up to 5th. So it is possible to recover with this combo. Some good overtaking, good on-track battles as well, as we are approaching the midpoint of this race very shortly. And oh, look at this, Cavalli is again in the gravel, and that is not the fastest way around the final corner of the Brands Hatch circuit. He is really moving backwards in this race. That's the disastrous. Oh, look at that, he's going to go to dead last, is he? No, because Rob Oldham is still behind him. Oh, and Jumbo and Simon Allen is in the gravel. Simon Allen is in the gravel, and almost a big accident there, but Jumbo now up into 5th place. Remember, he started 12th, Simon Allen, with a mistake at the exit of Paddock Hill Bend, and now it's Jumbo's turn to do a mistake, and here comes Simon Allen on the outside of Graham Hill Bend, and here comes Scott Davely as well. Look at this, they are together again, Scott and Simon, and ooh, contact there between Scott and Jumbo. That was a little bit clumsy by the American driver, but they all survived to fight another day. Lap 9 is about to be complete. The leader, in fact, is already in lap 10, and a short circuit also means that probably some of these drivers are going to come to be lapped towards the back end of the race. The last driver, that is Rob Oldham, is 26 seconds in a 50 seconds, so he's 30 seconds from being lapped. So we might see some lap traffic towards the end of the race, but Darren Head has a bit of a cushion there with the 7 seconds, almost 7 seconds advantage gap over Dale Taylor. Scott Davely continues to be in pursuit of Jumbo. Simon Allen is actually up to 5th again, so something happened to Jumbo. We haven't quite figured that one out, but now we have Scott Davely really trying to go for it, and look at this, he's going to go for it now in the next corner. No, this is not really a corner, and Scott is coming under pressure from Rob. Oh, and Scott is off, he's off into the grass, he's off into the barrier. Fortunately, no damage, and a lone wolf incident, because no one was really no contact with another car. Rob Button is up into 7th now, so that's good recovery as well after that incident in the first few laps, and he is behind Jumbo in 6th place, Simon Allen up into 5th. We also haven't seen Jorge Jesus go up into 3rd place, but he did by overtaking. Look at this, this is a Rob Oldham and Cavalli, and Cavalli is always running wide and almost into the gravel again there at Paddock Hill Bend, and again he's running wide at Druids, and here comes Rob Oldham. But not this time. Look at that, Cavalli really struggling a little bit with this car, running wide in almost every corner. Scott Davely with that off around here in this particular place of the track is now dead last. Gonçalo Mota up to 11th, Rob Oldham up to 10th, Cavalli up to 9th, John Scott is up to 8th again, and someone is in the gravel, and that is Rob Oldham, I believe. No, it's not Rob Oldham, it is Jumbo. Oh no! And this is the action replay of what happened to Jumbo. He's a little bit offline there. Did he have any help? I don't think so. But oh, and he just clips the curb, and there goes into the gravel, and fortunately does not spin, but loses quite a lot of time. Loses, well, a lot of places. He's down into 10th now, and soon under pressure from Gonçalo Mota. And the race leader continues to open the gap. That's impressive, 9.3 seconds, 9.4 seconds over Dale Taylor. Jorge Jesus is in 3rd, 4th is Peter Age in 5th, Simon Allen 6th is now Rob Button. That's good recovery from Rob as well. John Scott up to 7th. After that initial mistake, he didn't make any more mistakes. He's now up to 7th, and then we've got a bunch of drivers that have been serial offense committers, or mistake or errors or collisions have meant that they are down there. That includes Cavalli, Rob Oldham, Jumbo, Scott Davely. Gonçalo Mota hasn't made a lot of mistakes, but his pace is, well, his pace is not that bad actually. 58.0. That is the same time almost as Dale Taylor in second place. And Dale Taylor trying very hard indeed with this Ginetta. We are on lap 13, 8 laps to go. Jorge Jesus is coming after Dale Taylor. He was faster in the previous lap, and and now Jorge Jesus almost running into the gravel. Let's see what is this battle. That is John Scott under pressure from Kev Allen, with Rob Oldham in the background, also trying to join in the action. End of lap 13, the leader is already on lap 14, and Kev Allen could go up into 7th again here. And here is where is it going to be the opportunity? Is he going to go at Paddock Hill Bend? I don't think he's just too far behind Kev, isn't he? And now little mistake there by John Scott, and here comes Kev Allen now on the inside. The Druids, John gives him space. He saw he was coming, tries to defend on the outside. Now there's a little bit of a switcheroo, but Kev does have the racing line into Graham Hill Bend, and now and look at this, he's coming back at him. Slight contact between the two drivers, but all within the limits of Ginetta Racing. They are going to go side by side. This is not a great idea to go side by side here, and John Scott knows it, so he pulls out of it. And look at that, they're about to be joined by Rob Oldham, recovering Rob Oldham in 9th place. And there they are at it again. Now it's John Scott's turn to put some pressure on Kev Allen. Let's see how that's going to go, because he's also feeling the pressure from Rob Oldham behind him. Gonçalo Mota is up into 10th. We haven't quite seen what happened, but it was Jumbo that is now back where he basically started in 12th. So he's been yo-yoing. He was 5th at one point, and that's quite a high range of position changes without any pit stops or anything. It's just a sprint race really, and Jumbo from 12th to 5th, now back into 12th. Can he go up to 5th again? He's running a little bit out of time here, because only 6 laps to go now. The leader is already on lap 16. That will be 6 laps to go, and Jorge Jesus continues to be in pursuit of Dale Taylor. Let's look at the lap times. They are almost identical. Jorge 1/10 of a second faster than Dale on lap 15. So we still could see a battle for second place here. Peter Adrian is alone in 4th. He's not under pressure from anyone, and he's trying to keep track of the top 3, but he's running somewhat slower, almost a second. 9/10 lost to Jorge Jesus in the last lap. 50 Simon Allen, 6 Rob Button, and this is the closest battle on the track right now. And Kev Allen has actually overtaken, we saw that, sorry, I was getting slightly confused, but yeah, John Scott is trying to recover the position that he lost to Kev Allen. Rob Oldham has not continued to gain ground. This is number 29, that is Simon Allen, again running on his own. He's 5 seconds away from Peter, and he's 5 seconds ahead of Rob Button in 6th. Nice position for Rob Button if he can maintain these over the last 4 laps of this race. And good to see him back into Old Fox Racing PlayStation as well. John Scott and Kev Allen continue to battle, but John realistically not close enough to go for the overtake. Still 4 laps to go here. And it seems to me that Rob Button is losing ground. Yes, he is. 59.4 in the last lap, compared to Kev's 57.8, almost more than 2 seconds, in fact. Not more than 2 seconds, just under 2 seconds, I apologize. Oh, look at this. This is Jorge Jesus is now very close indeed to Dale Taylor. So the battle, the promised battle for second place is actually here. We only have 3 laps to go. which means around 3 minutes, but good to see this battle finally materializing as George is trying to not lose that much ground to championship leader Darren Head, but well, look at that lead that Darren Head has, 12.8 seconds. That's, well, after 18 laps, that's very impressive indeed over a short lap. And some drivers are, well, 10 seconds away from being lapped. I think that Darren probably has enough of a cushion that either he does not need to lap them, or he will be under no pressure to do so. Ooh, look at that! Del Taylor is in the gravel. Del Taylor is in the gravel. He's in the grass. Oh, and now he spins. And Jorge Jesus was just waiting to see in which direction Dale was going to emerge from that spin, and that was an easy move at the end of the day. Jorge Jesus up into second place. Dale Taylor a mistake, and we are going to see what this is. Gonçalo Mota under attack by Scott Davely, and a few moments ago, let's see what's going to happen here. Gonçalo is off the track, isn't he? And now he's coming back into the track. Ooh, and a bit of contact there, a bit of pushing and shoving, and a lot of pushing and shoving, as Gonçalo really not happy to lose that position. He's now trying to come back on the inside of Paddock Hill Bend, and he does so, but Scott is having none of it and just shuts the door. And I think that they'll be fine, and Scott is up into the top 10 of this race. Gonçalo Mota down to 11th. Jumbo is still in 12th, and he is 10 seconds away from 11th with only a couple of laps to go. Now there is an emerging battle there for 6th place. Well, not really, because Rob Button has improved his pace. 58.2, Kev 58.1, just a tenth of a second in that last lap. So Rob holding on for that 6th place. John Scott has also lost a bit of ground in 8th place. So now we've got Rob, Kev, John Scott, and Rob Oldham, as Gonçalo Mota is coming back at Scott Davely. Battle for 10th place, and Gonçalo wants that place back definitely, but he's a little bit too far behind here in Druid to make an overtaking attempt. Only the last lap now for Darren Head. Last lap for Darren Head. Another victory is coming for the championship leader, and look at that. Ooh, and well, I'm not sure about the penalties in this race. I've seen a few drivers, especially here at Graham Hill Bend. Look at this, even the leader, well, he did stay within the track limits, but a few others have gone 4 wheels off the track. So I'm wondering if there's going to be any penalties whatsoever. But let's first get the checkered flag for the winner. And Darren Head is going to go again for victory at Brands Hatch Indy with the Ginetta. A very entertaining race, and Darren Head is the winner. At the end, it was an impressive victory. 2nd place for Jorge Jesus. 3rd place is going to be Del Taylor. 4th place, excellent finish for Peter Adrian. Could have been the podium, but nevertheless a very, very solid finish. And here is Jorge Jesus. Here is also Del Taylor. Peter Adrian is in the background, finishing in 4th place. Simon Allen, a very good recovery after that initial incident on the first lap. That's pretty solid by Simon as a recovery. 6th is going to be Rob Button. Yes, look at this. Rob continues to defend from Kevin, manages to cross the line in 6th place. 7th is Kev Allen. 8th is John Scott. 9th is Rob Oldham, and 10th is going to be Scott Davely. Less of a recovery, and of course that second incident was a determining factor in his 10th place. 11th was Gonçalo Mota, and 12th was Jumbo. A very entertaining race 1 of round 5. We'll see you in race 2.